I think I just want people just to stop, because I can see, you know, especially in small business, a lot of people panicking. Stop panicking. There's absolutely no need. You're not missing anything. Do you know what I mean? Do what you do and do it well, and just keep going.
Can we call episode 2 the one where we brainstormed new ways to get naked?
yeah. Definitely, 100%.
Hey, I'm Jay Woodard. I am a creative director, photographer and videographer of the Ed32 agency based in the south of Ireland in Cork.
Hi, I'm Judie Russell. I'm a video coach and founder of the Vid Academy.
Hi, I'm Jen Bryan, and I'm the co-founder and chief marketing officer of a digital marketing agency called Velocity Growth.
Hi, I'm Sian Horn. I'm a business mentor and coach. I'm also the founder of the national network for women in business called The Club. And I also am the ambassador for Champion Green.
Hello and welcome back to Unbranded. Finally have a name for the podcast, episode 2. Before we even kick off anything, I just want to say thank you to everyone who listened, downloaded and recorded our reviewed episode 1. Got us number 1 in the charts on the release day, which was insane. I know everyone here was delighted when Jen sent into the group. I was like, nah, that can't be real. That's what? So yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate the support and all the messages and LinkedIn's and all that stuff. So yeah, we're going to keep going. Ladies, how are we getting on today?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. We jump straight into it. Let's go, Judie. Highlight of the week.
So my highlight is actually later on today. I am going down to this lady's house, right? And how this started was her son lives in America, and she is a yoga instructor who is also many other things than a yoga instructor, but she is in her mid to late 70s. I'm actually not certain what age she is, but her son was like, I want her to have a studio so she can record her yoga videos and put them up on YouTube. Can you give me a list of equipment? With the help of Barker Photographic, who is based in Cork. He's my local camera shop. We all probably know him. He's amazing. I always go there to buy my stuff. So me and Paddy got together, put together a list. We've got the Sony ZV-1. We've got 4 lights. We've got the ability for her camera to go into HDMI into her TV so that she can see herself.
Nice.
It's all auto. Like everything is like turn on the things, the electricity at the switch, and press auto record. She's got the DJI mics, and just to see this woman in her mid to late 70s create videos on her own is just blowing my mind completely. The studio setup she has is class. I think her YouTube channel is already going. So she records and then Google Drives to her son, who then does the edit and uploads them to YouTube then afterwards and I think it's Mary Breen, Breen. So if you have a chance, go and check out her channel. My mum is like doing her, like, cause it's really simple, but it's also hard. Like, I'm looking at her doing some stuff and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. But my mum could take it on. Whereas if I sent my mum Yoga by Adrian, she'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm just so impressed, and it gives me just like amazing to see someone embrace video at that age and not be afraid of it. So that's my highlight for this week.
Class.
That is so
Shan?
cool.
Yeah.
This was my highlight, to be honest. I had a fabulous week, but for this to go out after obviously us talking for such a long time about it, to go out and then to go to number 1, 100% my highlight. The DMs have been amazing, and the feedback, which is super essential, whether it's been positive, we've got a couple of constructives as well, which is always important. And I want those to keep coming, because sometimes we can be a bit kind and I'm like, no, tell me the truth. But yeah, no, 100%. That was my highlight of the week.
And have you heard any negative stuff, Shan? Like, not negative, but like, have you heard any other criticism? Because everyone's been really nice to me and I want to know some of the bad stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's the issue. I've certainly got a couple of friends, and look, it's the Women in Business Awards tomorrow night, so people will have a bit of alcohol on them. So I'll get the truth tomorrow night at 1:00 in the morning. But that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, it's all good.
Class. Jen?
Yeah, well, I just rolled out my final Black Friday campaign this morning after a week of Black Friday torture. Actually, a month of Black Friday torture. So now it's just prioritizing the Christmas campaigns, New Year campaigns, then Valentine's, and then Mother's Day is usually the stack rank for me for the next few months. But yeah, Black Friday this year is going to be absolutely insane in terms of the cost of everything on the advertising platforms. Like, we're already seeing like steep inclines.
Why is that, you think?
So yeah, it'll be Well, it's the advertising platforms are all work off a bidding structure. So as soon as there's an inflation of adverts, the cost of everything goes up. I think the main thing people forget about is, like, if you come to me and you're like, oh, well, all my competition is going to be running ads, so that's why it'll inflate. It's like, no, that's not the case. Yes, all your competition is running ads, but you're actually bidding for a place on someone's individual feed. And every individual has multiple interests. So actually you're bidding for that space against every other possible interest that they have, not just your own competition. So like the inflation is much wilder than people think.
Wow.
Crazy.
And I think that's why people are going earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier every year. Like I'm over it now, to be honest. And it's not even happened yet. And obviously I'm all about the Green Friday and not the Black Friday. So I just want people to remember that too and just balance it out.
But I remember, Sian, I don't know if you remember, guys, about 10 years ago, Black Friday wasn't a thing here in Ireland. It wasn't that much of a big deal. It's like only since social really took off is when Black Friday kicked in. I think, because I don't remember being a kid and Black Friday happening, or like being in, even 10 years ago, as I said, even 8 years ago, I don't remember going, oh, Black Friday's happening, I need to go down to Tesco's or whatever it is like. Do you remember any of that? Is it just me?
No, I remember it. I completely agree, actually. Even in the UK, as I was growing up, definitely wasn't around. I definitely, obviously, been here 23 years. So, but the thing for me, I think, is like the difference in how it has happened over the years. Like I want to buy a couple of things, tech things, obviously. I want to buy a couple of things. I've saved up for them. I'm ready to see if there is a genuine discount. Now, I've wanted them for ages, so I know what they're priced at. So I will know if there is a genuine discount. And if there isn't, I'm not buying it. It's that simple. But I suppose what I try and do is just balance it out on the Green Friday situation. So if I am going to purchase that expensive thing, then I'm going to purchase it from a restaurant down the road, open my laptop in a coffee shop. I'm going to just try and balance where I spend my money, because for over 60% of the money to leave Ireland on Black Friday, it's just not good enough.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, I'm going to get right into my Green Friday rant now, but do you know what I mean? But I think it has changed, and like there's loads everywhere at the moment about people inflating prices and bring them down. I don't know. If I've bought something on Good Friday, it's normally because it's something that I've wanted for a time. But I'm not a big shopper. I'm one of those people, it's not a bargain if you didn't need it.
What's your top of your list tech buy? I have one at the top of my list as well that I'm waiting to see. I'm curious, what's yours?
Yeah. So I really want a Rodecaster.
Oh, nice.
I want the smaller one, because I want to sort of travel with it. Apple never do any discounts, so the Apples are all off the list. And then, I want a couple of nice mics as well. So they're top of the list, but I know the prices, so I'll see what happens.
You should check out Thoman's.
Yes, no, I'm on there already. But sometimes as well, what happens is you go, right, and so I might purchase this week, and then on Monday they'll do an extra 5%. So I'm holding till Monday.
Yeah.
I'm holding steady.
Top of my list is the Remarkable. I really want a Remarkable, and it's notionary. I'm fully aware of how notionary it is, but next week
Remarkable?
I'm like, look, it's a digital notebook, but it's similar to Kindle in the way it's structured. So it has
I know it.
It's the closest thing to writing on paper. Yeah.
I want a drone.
Yeah,
just write on paper, Jen.
I know.
I want the lightest drone and the easiest one to fly with lovely 4K imagery, and I'll take your ideas for that one, because I've already been looking.
I picked up.
Actually, I have this one here. It's up there. I'll grab it in a minute. But the DJI drone, the small one, I find it class.
What do you think, Jay?
I picked up the Air 3 a few months back, and the DJI Air 3, and it's top notch. All in all, creator package with the remote, everything, 3 batteries, chargers, everything was $1,800, and that was including VAT, which I thought was very good.
Cool.
Oh my God, I think we should all have drones and all buy different ones, and then take them all out for the day and do a pod all about drones.
Exactly. Yeah.
We should all go to the same location and shoot and see how we all shoot differently.
Just a drone fight.
Mine just whacking into trees.
Yeah,
It's not working.
I love the way he says all shoot differently. I'll be lucky to keep mine in the air. It's like
I'll reel this back to my highlight. I got to do a class food shoot yesterday, a Marks and Spencer style food ad in slow-mo. I rented a camera here from Take 9, the FX6, Sony FX6, which is phenomenal camera. It's a Cineline camera, so footage was amazing. I'm going to delve into an edit now after this, and then during that I got a call which landed a massive contract for the next 2 months, which is great, with a new client. So that was a nice highlight. And
woohoo!
And Jay, can you tell us where the call came from?
Not yet until everything's signed off properly and everything done. Yeah. But it was funny because I was shooting. I was like, I've been trying to talk to him now for ages. I'm not going to answer the call. And I was like, fuck it, I'll answer the call. And then I answered the call. He's like, and we started chatting. Then I was like, it was worth the 10-minute call. It was worth the pause in 10 minutes, to get it over the line, because back and forth, and trade shows, he was away and all this kind of stuff. And it was just good to get him over the line,
And I didn't mean who the client was. Sorry, I'm not that nosy. But how the client found you is always what I'm interested in.
Oh, apologies. Sorry, apologies. So I actually did a video. I work with the Discovery Partnership on certain projects, and Industry at Ireland, and a few other kind of big corporate heads like that. And he was one of the people I had to interview for them separately. And it was literally one of those moments. Actually, we need a video. Can we chat after?
Brilliant.
And it was just kind of one of those kind of moments. And we sat down for 20 minutes after, had a cup of tea, chatted about it. And then, it's been 5-6 months trying to get this all together and sorted and stuff to get across the line. But it was just missing each other here, missing each other there, and this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And but it's there, and it's coming at a nice time as well, because should get deposits in the next week or so. It's nice for Christmas. And, it's just like, it all moves nicely. Cash flow's kind of coming in nicely and stuff. So, yeah, happy. Happy.
Cash
Judie,
flow towards the end of the month is a scary time, isn't it?
Yes, it definitely
and towards
is.
the end of the year, I should say, not month.
The year, yeah.
I was going to say,
because everyone kind of switches off.
With you, Judie, do you take 50% up front, or because I know some people take 30 or 40, or do you take anything up front when you book a client deposit wise?
I remember trying that, and I love that you do that. I love that you do that, Jay. But most of my clients are kind of repeat clients. It's rarely that I'm kind of working with new people at the moment. And you know what? I think the something that I've become really good at, maybe not so much in my personal life, but definitely in my professional life, is kind of noticing people straight away. Like within the first call, I can kind of tell, because I've been burned so many times. I can kind of tell, is this gonna actually burn me, or is this gonna turn into a good relationship kind of thing? So I just kind of go off that intuition, and I just invoice everything afterwards. But I love how you do it, Jay, and that is the way that it should be done. And I'm probably doing you a disservice by not doing that, by not making that standard.
I'm just for yourself, cash flow for yourself to keep you alive. If you're not worrying. They have to sign a contract, and I do nothing until 50% is in the bank account. Nothing, not even pre-production, nothing.
And also, I think, Judie, you should change your mindset, because actually 50% of the work that you do is done before you arrive, because the planning and everything that you do, that all takes time. So if you change your mindset, and this is a really good time of the year to change your policies. And actually, when you have great relationships with people, they really respect you for doing that. And when you have great relationships, they wouldn't mind at all.
It's more that a lot of my clients are public sector and trying to get the PO. What's that? A purchase order from the public sector. Yeah. It is just, I can't believe when I get paid, but they all seem to pay now. I haven't been left without a payment for a long time.
What I do with public sectors when I've worked with them is I bill them up front.
Interesting. Right. Yeah.
So it's done. Yeah. It's paid, and it's good to go. Because realistically, they're not going to go, this is terrible, we're not paying you. They're not going to, it doesn't happen like that. So in that kind of scenario, if it is a 30, 60 or 90 day waiting period for payment, I bill up front, get it sorted, and then we can rock on.
Amazing.
Yeah. For you, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jen, with your clients, would you kind of expect the same? Would you charge a percentage or hang up front monthly wise, or? No, it's all results.
We have performance-based packages, and then we have retainer packages, and they vary depending on what kind of elements they include, but we bill at the end of the month with 30-day payment terms on a monthly retainer. And we actually don't have any clients in a long-term contract, so it's a rolling 30 days, because imagine being stuck with an agency you didn't like, or
yeah,
you know,
yeah, I'm the
especially
same,
with
yeah,
agency
yeah.
work, you can't do that. Now, what we do in our proposals and upfront agreements is like, look, we need the first 3 months really to like see an impact, and we make that very clear. We've never had a client drop out in that amount of time anyway, but we would expect that a client would hold on for the 3 months, just especially if they're in the B2B space with a long lead time and stuff. Like you're just not going to see anything potentially up for 6 months. But you know, standard e-commerce, few weeks in, you're really rolling anyway, so it doesn't really make a massive impact. But we have that in place just for the B2B side, really.
Okay. For my retainer clients, it's also the same. I actually get them to pay me up front. They pay me a month ahead. So they'll pay me now for December this week. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's a 3 month minimum in the contract. It's just for everyone's safety and for them.
Exactly. We have some clients as well where we will exchange some services for equity, which is an interesting model.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we own a little piece of the business at a reduced retainer rate or something like that. But then that paperwork also, you'd forget how much it costs. American lawyers are expensive. Just
yes, they are. Up. Jesus, yeah.
I'm like,
I had a small run-in years ago. Yeah, suits. Let's jump on to what fucked you off this week. Jane, we'll start with you.
I suppose equally, even though my highlight was wrapping up Black Friday this week, my biggest pain in the ass is also Black Friday. I think it's like actually, Shannon, your point, it's really difficult for small businesses to compete because a few things happen in the same breath. You've got your inflated ad spend because there's so many people bidding, and then you've got your percentage discount against it. It's not often that we see people, you know, much above break even. You know, you're not making a return. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it. And it's a recommendation I've made to vast majority of the clients on the books to say, why don't we just skip it this year? Some of them just want to partake. Some of them are just ticking the box because they did it last year. Some people it really makes sense. Like they're in the tech space or they're in the furniture space, for example, where people are just going to wait for that. But yeah, when I see the smaller businesses take another hit to their margin, it makes me more sad than it does make me happy to see the campaigns go out. So it's especially coming up to Christmas, because it's the opposite to us on cash flow side, where, you know, we might get paid 50% up front, or, you know, at the end of the month, we know X amount is coming from our cash flow models and retainers and everything else. But in the product-based business, you're looking totally at your margins, and then you're taking a massive punch just before Christmas. Mm. So that.
Yeah, no bueno, is it? Shen, what fucked you off this week?
Well, kind of on the same ilk, but failure to prepare has fucked me off this week. Or pissed, I don't know what word we're using, but anyway, it's all done it to me. And there's two elements to it that has annoyed me. We can't compete as small business. And so you have to be smarter and clever and think of organic ways to get out there. You know, I remember years ago, a sales and marketing girl came into work for me and she said, what's this year's budget? And I went, what are you talking about? We run up and down the street naked to get in the paper. What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what you have to do. You have to think of different ways to be naked and show yourself. However, you can't wait to the last minute. And so two things have annoyed me. People panicking that Black Friday is here or Christmas is coming and having not prepared for it. It's not worth panicking. You're too late. Just park it. Start thinking now about next year and give yourself time to breathe and plan ahead. The second thing that has annoyed me about it is the people that should be helping the small business are advertising how they can help them right now. And it's BS, to be honest. It's too late. So that's annoying me. If I see the 5 things you should be posting this Black Friday, the 10 things you should be doing to make sales at Christmas, I'm going to start crying because Christmas has happened, guys. You know, go into town. It's hammered. I won't be driving back into town till January. Christmas has been and gone.
Fair enough. I'm
annoyed with too many. You know, don't do it to yourself. You know, it's all very well and good taking the whole summer off, but don't take the whole summer off. Plan your Christmas. You know, whilst you're lying by the pool. That's what I do. I'm still at the pool.
It's crazy though, because we actually send out a Black Friday and Christmas prep email in July for clients.
Yeah.
And only a fraction of them will come back. But the fraction who do come back have the best campaigns by the end of the year. But also regularly people come back and are like, are you insane? Are you mad? Like, I can't be planning for this now. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just saying that the time is already blocking off here on our end. You know, if we don't have a think about it now, it's just going to fall off a cliff. Yes. But those who plan get way further ahead than those who don't. And I see it regardless of Black Friday or anything else, whether it's just like a podcast like this, like we put in a good bit of planning into this as well. Yeah. And, you know, it feels like it was ages coming, but it actually wasn't. We put in a bit of work in advance and stuff as well. So it's just one of those things.
And I'm not saying that even to panic people. What I'm saying that for now is just leave it, forget it. Don't worry about it, because it's like someone rang me the other day and said, you in my Pilates studio, you're not doing something for Black Friday? I haven't seen anything up. And I'm like, yeah, we don't get involved in Black Friday. We never have. Just a choice I made a long time ago. You know, we're not for Christmas. We're not for January. We're a lifestyle brand. So we don't get involved. So that's our decision. But if we did, it would have been up 6 weeks ago, probably. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is coming. What's coming? And sprinkling that sugar and, you know, dropping the breadcrumbs so that they can open the door to the gingerbread house, which is so exciting. But yeah, so I think I just want people just to stop, because I can see, you know, especially in small business, a lot of people panicking. Stop panicking. There's absolutely no need. You're not missing anything. Do you know what I mean? Do what you do and do it well, and just keep going.
Can we call episode 2 the one where we brainstormed new ways to get naked?
yeah, definitely, 100%. The other thing is that you don't see the big brands like partaking in Black Friday either. You don't see Apple, you don't see Louis Vuitton, you don't see any luxury brand that like describe themselves as worth their salt. Don't touch a discount. You'll never see a discount from them.
Yeah. I know where I live, Jen. Don't panic.
Judie, what fucked you off this week?
Do you know, I was actually thinking about it last night, and I was like, I've actually had a really good week. Like, I was like, nothing has actually pissed me off, so there's no point in making something up. But then I was thinking about it. I was like, Jay, right? Every time I say your name in my head, it's yay, and it's screaming, and it's in a Latina American accent. And I was like, where is this coming from? And then this morning I found it, and it's Gloria.
Okay, from...
That is exactly how I hear your name go off in my head. So what fucked me off was not failing to connect the dots of those two until right this morning. So that's it.
Fair play. Yeah, there you go. Now. I'll be yay from now on to the audience.
Yay!
Not much, to be honest. Again, I've had a good week. Shoots went well. Yeah, I'm going to be boring this week and have nothing, to be honest. Nothing really threw me. Maybe some clients need to pay invoices, but that's standard, isn't it? Just chasing with an email. Like, other than that, I'm happy compared to last week. Yeah,
standard.
2 seconds. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, standard. Other than that, all good. Do you know?
Great.
Sorry.
That's good.
That's a fun tip I got from someone recently on the billing side of things. Is that like, I hate talking about money. I hate talking about money with clients. I've gotten much, much better at it, but I hate sending those follow-up emails and things like that. Now it's different that we have a team now and like someone who's better at it can do it. But, for ages when I was on my own, I had created a separate email address. I think it was it Mairead or something? I used the name. Where it's like Mairead@jdigital.ie, and she sent those emails, even though it was me.
We have
switch inboxes.
Accounts at 32. Yeah.
I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret, because my husband won't listen to this, and I don't think any of my Pilates customers will listen to this. But we had a girl in marketing and membership for a couple of years, and she left 2.5 years ago, Grace. Now she still teaches, but no one knows she's left, because Lee, my husband, still sends everything from her.
Yeah, dead right. Yeah, it's smart. Like, it's just, it's just because you can use that tone, and then if you have to be the good guy and meet the client up front, that's all good. But if you can use that tone or saying, guys, we need this done, like, it just works better. Like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Right. So teach me something new, Shen.
Okay, I don't know if this is new, but it's new to me, right? So you make a reel on Instagram, you've fluffed it up, you've made a massive mistake, and you can't edit. So you go, I'll delete it and I'll pull it back up. Am I correct?
I haven't used Instagram for editing like inside the app for a while, so this is great.
So recently, just on one of the platforms, but it's now on all of my platforms, when I've gone to delete, it doesn't, and now it says, would you like to move it back to drafts? So you can move it back to drafts, correct the mistake, and then put it back up rather than having to, because I actually create everything on the platform. I think we spoke about this last week. So now I actually never need to leave it. So yeah, now if you make a mistake on Instagram, on the reels, if you go to delete, it will allow you to move it back into drafts, correct your mistake, and put it straight back up. If you have all seen this and this isn't new, then I'm so sorry, but it's 100% new to me and the platforms that I cover. I definitely saw it about a few weeks ago, just on one of the platforms that I had, but now it's on everything. Amazing. And I love it. Nice.
I'll jump in there with one, an app called Stacher, Stacher, Stacher. What that does is it lets you, it's going to sound bad, I'm not a pirate, but it lets you download YouTube clips and this kind of stuff, music clips, whatever it is, if you need it. So like why I use it, and it's not for legal purposes, I create my storyboards and my mood boards and kind of shot lists on Milanote. What I can do then, if I'm doing research, if I'm inspired by something, I can literally copy the URL, post into that. It's a little app that goes onto it, and then you can literally select the type of file you want to download, MP3, MP4, WAV, whatever it is, and it downloads straight to your downloads. And then I can use that as a GIF, or I can drop that into my notes. So it's just kind of, because those kind of, MP or YouTube to MP3.com, like, you don't want to click on those websites. Like they're trash, and there's always pop-ups, and it's just utterly bad. So this has me stop doing that, where I can literally just copy and paste the link of a video or a song, and it just lets me download it automatically for work purposes and not illegal purposes. Jen?
I've been building out a lot of the custom ChatGPTs. Have you seen this feature within ChatGPT? So you can go in now and you can build out a custom one. And what I'm doing is I'm taking tons of like our SOP documentation that I've been working on for so long before ChatGPT came out, and I could just do them so much quicker. But anyway, that's besides the point. They're done now. Bringing those in, and then doing things like taking the entire library of like the Google Ads like support documentation and bringing all of that in, and then putting my own like quirks on it. So like, for example, I really hate broad match keywords in Google Ads, even though every time a Google ad rep will ring me, they will tear the head off me for it. Every single call now is just like, aren't you using those yet? And I'm like, no. But so I can put my own slant in it. So like taking all of the support documentation, here's a general rule of thumb that we work off of within the company. For example, if the broad match variation of a keyword is highly likely to bring in low intent keywords, disregard like all of these different if this then that rules. And now the team can start using that to say, okay, well, now that we're writing ad copy for this or doing some keyword research, can you bring back more keywords? So it's just like helping the workflow in there. But I did one for my Instagram as well, where I've dumped in all my own data of the videos that have performed, not performed, the scripts, the structure of the scripts. And then I pulled in all of Instagram's documentation around how they place reels. So I'm starting to use that as my like feedback loop with AI at the moment. But you can make them yourself. They're very easy to actually make. It's like, okay, here's the links to all the documentation I want to dump in. You can actually have a natural conversation with it to build it out, to say, disregard this, include this. You know, it takes maybe about half an hour to an hour to set one up really well. And that's not a significant amount of time when the amount of time it saves afterwards is just phenomenal. So highly recommend checking them out.
And is that you then going to the AI going, hey, I want to do a video on the new Sony, or I want to do a video on this topic, write me a script. It then takes all the information you've given it from Instagram, from the Google, and kind of writes a script that's basically for you.
It's like exactly. It's like you've created a mini model within ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has been told to disregard everything except for its little Instagram bubble of information, and it can pull things from outside of it, but it is designed to create a mini hub for that specific topic. And you have to select into it separately in your ChatGPT account. So you click into it, it starts coming up on your left-hand pane. So I can click like my Instagram viral video chat or custom model as opposed to the chat. It's above the chat. And then I can start having a conversation with that to build it out. But you can also share them with other people. So like the video I posted yesterday on Instagram, if people who commented the word viral before got a link to use that model if they wanted to as well. So you can share them with other people. So we're making some of them for like proprietary stuff internally, some of them a little bit more vaguer that I'll put out on Instagram and things like that. But they're really interesting to take a look at.
What's your handle on Instagram, just for people want to follow you, Jen?
Jen Bryan, BRYAN _.
Have you had any imposters? Any imposters jump in yet, trying to take you out, rip your page off? You have?
Yeah. I'm scamming people in the DMs. So I have the little verified mark. If it hasn't come from me, it's not me. Don't give people money. It's not going to me. Give me money if you want, but but don't give other people.
Then quickly, I just want to say while you're talking about that is I get a lot of clients that go, oh, I won't purchase the verify mark because I've only got 1,500 followers. I have clients with 300 followers that have been ripped off and other people have got scammed because of them. And if your business account is the best 16 quid you're ever going to spend.
You get direct access to Instagram support, which is unheard of, by the way. You should see the amount of messages I get every day of people who've been hacked thinking that I can fix it when absolutely I can't. But it's
sure. Myself and Sian for years, with anyone in our kind of circle of everyone, if someone was hacked, I got a phone call and Sian got a phone call, and we was like, talk to Sian or Jay. It's like and we tried to reach out to Facebook. You know yourself, it was just so horrible to talk to them. So it's like, I'm happy to pay the whatever it is, 10 or 12 euro a month to be able to talk directly to them if I have to. Like,
100%.
You know.
I remember when I first when Facebook kind of was relatively new, and my mum joined, and she was trying to add me as like a friend, but she couldn't figure out how. So up in one of the she added one of the comments or like a thread to her page going, add Judie Russell to my page. And one of my friends got wind of it, took a screenshot, and honestly, like at every wedding that I see him at, he's like, add Judie Russell to my page. Like there's nobody there. There's nobody doing support in Facebook, but now there is. So
that is so funny.
Judie, what are you going to teach us?
This week, okay, so like there's a couple of things, right? I've spent a lot of time in Premiere Pro this week, which is the editing app that most of anyone who's listening, if you've got a videographer, they're probably using it, even though Jay, in your office, there's actually a few different apps going around. But Premiere Pro, what I just found was the auto reframe sequence. So usually if I'm trying to turn a landscape video into a portrait video, I'll just duplicate the sequence and change the dimensions, and then I'll have to kind of mess around with all of the shots to kind of move them over. But with this little button, it's auto reframing for you. So it's using its intelligence in the back end to actually like add motion and track shots and stuff like that. So it saved me so much time. And then another thing was when I was uploading this podcast to the video of it to YouTube. Now, this has been around for more than a year, so it's just new to me. But YouTube podcasts is a thing now where, you can add it into podcast section of YouTube. You upload the video as normal, but then there's a podcast section to it. And just like there's a few benefits in there, like it will be included in YouTube Music. You can get badges. They'll spotlight it on YouTube podcasts, and it will get early discovery from the watch page, and it will be recommended to new listeners with similar interests, and it will play in terms of like episode 1, episode 2, as opposed to going into like something completely different then after people watch episode 1 of ours. So I thought that was really cool. So I think if any of you do have video podcasts, just go into the YouTube studio and try to just add them into the podcast section and see if that kind of ramps up the listenerships and ratings.
Nice. I think we're on there, are we?
We are.
Are we on? Yeah, we're.
That's where I put it. Yeah.
I was happy because if we were like, no, we're not, I was like, oh shit, I didn't bother. Goal for the week.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. Goal for the week ahead. Sian, you have a big event coming up.
To stay alive, basically. I got food poisoning last week at my weekend off.
Oh, Jesus, lovely.
So I've just got to get through it. I think I've got salmonella, actually. Waiting for the test results to come back. I still got it. I've done well to stay on here for 45 minutes, guys, I have to tell you. Busy night tomorrow night. But I kept myself accountable. I have got 2 of my staff in for college, so I'm nearly there, just a few weeks left. And goals ahead is just to get through it, to be honest, and get to the other side. Nothing major.
Best of luck with the event.
Thank you.
Jen?
I have a lot of planning to do for Q4, but I want to actually really take a moment and just kind of like go through the year month by month and just kind of reflect on it, because it feels like 2023 was a bit of a whirlwind, but actually we had, I think, more chaos behind the scenes this year than I think anyone would probably ever even realize from the outset. I mean, because we're an American company, first and foremost, there was, like, for example, in March of this year, we were with SVB, the bank that completely crashed in the US. So like for that entire month, we were essentially just like, can we get our money out? Can we even transfer it to another account? Like everything just got frozen. Everything was just chaos. We ended up having to open a second bank account. We had to look at like transitioning stuff to Ireland. Like even that, I remember that month, like myself and my business partner in the US being like, if we can't get the money out, we still first and foremost have to like pay every single person on the team. Like, what can we personally pull together for this? I mean, there was just all of this chaos in the first half of the year with the banking side of things. Loads of clients had their like fundraising pulled because like the market has completely shifted in the US. So we had to just like climb out of a ton of holes that just kept like backlogging. And like, we're actually going into 2024 on a really strong footing considering all of it. So I do want to just go back and take the time to be like, let's look at all of this before I dive straight into Q4 planning, because if I just dive straight into Q4 planning, I feel like I won't bring some learnings through or something. And often, especially in startups, it's so fast paced that I couldn't tell you what happened last week. Not to mind that we like went through an entire banking crisis in the first half of the year. So like I have to just like take a little bit of time to look at that first. But chaos leaves learnings, I guess.
A full autopsy so needed.
Exactly.
Judie?
Well, I am finishing up the year going on holidays on December 8th. So I basically have 2 weeks left to get my shit together. So it's the same as that kind of thing. It's just looking at everything and kind of like, again, goal setting for next year, because I was focused on another business at the end of this time last year, the story of, and that just kind of took up all of my bandwidth. So the Vid Academy was kind of like just like flying by the seat of my pants kind of thing. So similar to you guys, like I want to goal set. I want to know where I want to go next year with it, and then manage that as well. But I got my newsletter out at 5:02 before this podcast, because I told us that I just said to you last week, and I was like, I honestly, lads, would have slept through that if it wasn't for this podcast. So I'm so grateful to have you keeping me accountable. Thank you. And Jay,
well done. Just get that video done for my client Bite Size, the kind of Marks and Spencer style slow food porny. I have a deadline of Tuesday night, so somewhat quick turnaround with the weekend off. That's my goal. Get that done and sorted.
If you need naked extras to run through the background, you know where to look. The club.
Every time he says Marks and Spencer, I get excited. It was my dream as a child to work for Marks. I still want to work for them. I'm putting it out there, Marks. If you need anybody to try on your clothes, I'm your girl. But yeah, I love that style. I can't wait to see it, Jay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I talked to Judie about maybe doing a small voiceover for the ad, so wait and see.
I can do it now for free. Hello. And Sian, I'm also wearing pink in support of the club. I cannot wait for the awards tomorrow night. Really looking forward to it. The club. Brilliant.
Amazing.
That's it, guys. Another episode down. That flew. Hope you got plenty of info out of it, and hope it helped. And if you have any questions or you want to chat to us about anything, or if any issues that you think we may be able to help with, DM us or trust. We don't have an email, do we? Is there an email out there for the podcast?
I created a crappy Gmail one. Let me tell you what it is. Just to set up that YouTube channel. Unbranded the podcast at gmail.com for now.
Unbranded the podcast at gmail.com. If you have any questions or any recommendations or whatever you like, if there's some criticism you don't want to say to our faces, you can send an email. You can listen to us everywhere. You can watch us on YouTube.
But just do what they do on James' account and just make up a fake name and just DM us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just set up a fake account and give us all the It's fine.
Yeah. if
Please,
you do
after
listen,
me, don't do that to me because I'm so sick of the abuse on my Instagram. Abuse everyone else.
yeah. I'll take the abuse this time. I can take it. If you do listen to the podcast, do leave a rating and a review. It really helps. We appreciate it. Share, tell all your buddies. Have a great week, weekend, whatever you get up to. And thank you so much for listening.